All right, we are live. It is Wednesday, and we are horned up. Hell yes, we are here ready to talk some Vikings offseason. Yes, Onebar got a lot better looking. Just kidding. That is Dave. Dave from Climb the Pocket is here filling in our favorite substitute co-host.
Glad
Dave,
to
how
be
are you?
here.
Yeah, thank you so much for filling in. Cannot wait to talk some Vikings with you. Let's see what we got in the house. We got Burstig. We got Davy Chains, Travis Nitzberg, Ellis Greger. Just for Ellis Greger, we'll talk some we'll talk some rumors about the Vikings trading for Trey Lance. I know he's excited about that. A lot of stuff going on here tonight. Oh, Chad Myers. So what's up, Dave?
Hey, everything's going great down here. I'm watching those Trey Lance rumors myself. Uh,
Yeah, it's
we'll
exciting.
get into it.
Oh, we will, and I'm excited to talk about that. The more I think about it, the more my opinion goes stronger and stronger on what I want them to do. Julian Marker, how are you, my friend? Hope everything is well with you. Let a few roll in here before we get started. This is going to be fun. You're damn right it's going to be fun tonight, Tim.
Yep, it's going to be a blast. We're talking Vikings. Anytime we talk Vikings, it's usually a good time.
It's usually a good time, unless it's, after the wild card round of the playoffs.
Hey, it was a wonderful season.
It
You
was.
gotta hand it to that. It was entertaining.
It was.
It was fun. And we haven't had fun in quite a few years. So
Yeah, no, it was a fun season, crazy season, and even the year before was kind of a weird season too, with all those wild lead blows the Vikings did. This year was kind of the reverse of that. So yes, it was a very, very exciting season, and one that was great for us. A lot of stuff to talk about.
mhm. I love seeing people come on. There's my beautiful Miss Mary Fisk. Great to have you.
You and Mary go way back or what?
Yes, we do. She is a wonderful, wonderful woman. She has
Hell
been
yeah!
a Vikings fan since the inception of the
Really?
Minnesota Vikings.
Wow.
She is absolutely wonderful. She can tell you just about anything you want to know about any player uh, or coach. Her favorite coach, of course, is Bud Grant,
Really?
and she is fantastic. Thanks,
Yeah.
Miguel.
Yeah. Well, Mary Fisk will be a future substitute co-host as well.
I've been trying to get her on for years. I can't get her in chat. No problem.
Awesome. Awesome. Oh, well, good. Brian Westman, he wants to blow up this roster. I think that might be a year away from happening,
We can talk
personally.
about it on the defensive side. There's a
Mm-hmm.
case to be made on that side.
Absolutely. I actually like our offensive core. I think we got something there.
Well, I do too. And speaking of our OC, Wes Phillips, he declined a head coaching, I think it was head coaching, or no, an OC position at the Chargers.
Yep.
He thinks the Minnesota Vikings have something special going and he wants to be a part of it. So if
Yep.
we've got something special going, we all want to be a part of that.
Absolutely. And then I saw what our passing game coordinator was being interviewed somewhere. Key McCardell now an option for the Bucks. I didn't saw if that was OC or head coach or what they're looking at him for, but
OC.
okay. I mean, McCardell, he played there. He may want to go back. No
We'll
tax there in
see.
Florida.
There's something attractive about having a magical, at least on the offensive side of the ball, team coming together.
Well, I
People
think
want to partake in success and fun.
and it says a
And
lot about your coaching staff when you got three guys getting, wanted, sought after. When was the last time that happened?
It's been forever. Forever being 2019.
Yeah, something like it feels like forever. All right. Well, we got 34 in. I don't know how busy it's going to be tonight. It's kind of the lull before the second wave here. So we're going to talk this thing out. Let's start. So divisional round happened last week. We saw the Giants get absolutely destroyed by the Eagles. Seeing how these other teams fared, do you feel better or worse that the Vikings went out in round one? Do you think we had a chance if we were to beat the Giants going anywhere with the two teams that are left here? So let's see what you guys think about that. Do you feel better or worse about the Vikings losing in round one after seeing what went down last weekend?
You asking me or the people watching?
People watching first, and then I'll let you chime in
Okay.
next. No, Mike Zimmer. No, that's never going to happen. Why would anybody want that to happen? I think his
It's not going to
defense
happen. He
kinda got
doesn't
figured out.
match the culture.
No. How
Yes,
awkward would
we
it be
love his.
too for him?
We love his defense and how he did on that side, but no, he does not match the culture. He will not come back.
All right, we got one so far. Travis Nitzberg. He says he feels better. Julian Marker has breaking news. Petting his butt, he says. Didn't really answer the question. Oh, yeah. Minnesota thinks he doesn't think we beat the Niners. Don't think they have a chance. Feel good about loss? No. I have a chance to play. Yeah. Let's see. Got any other ones here? Yeah. Vertig feels worse. We should have been better. At least we got a better draft pick this way. Yeah, I think it ends up being like one pick different, assuming we would have lost last week. All right. All right, Dave, what do you think? Do you feel better, worse about the Vikings going out in round one after seeing what went down last weekend?
I don't feel better. I'm sad we lost. I think all Vikings fans are. But overall, I think we overachieved this season. We got lucky. Luck was part of it. But as we talked about earlier, the whole flipping the script from, oh, shit, there's 2 minutes to go, we're going to lose, to, holy crap, it's the fourth quarter. Kirk's leading the, Kirk O'Chains is leading the comeback.
Yep.
That was awesome. I loved it. It was a happy, happy season. Plenty of ups and downs. I don't know if my heart could take much more of it, but it was wonderful. Should we have won last week? Yeah, hell yes. I wish we had won last week and then go kick Niners' butt. But I don't think that would have happened. They are a lot better on both sides of the ball. And I think our biggest deal was that our defense was rough. We get that fixed, I think we can beat anybody.
Yeah, to me, it was more eye-opening just how bad our defense was. Just looking how inept the Giants looked against the Eagles. They got a good defense. I mean, Eagles have a really good defense. Like I said last week after we lost, if we even had like a slightly below average defense, we win that game probably pretty easily. But Vikings couldn't cover, couldn't create any pressure either. So that being said, looking at the teams that were the way the Niners played, the way the Eagles played, I don't think the Vikings would have had much of a chance. But you never know. The way the season went, I didn't think we were going to beat Buffalo, and that thing would have, that thing went differently than I thought it would. So I don't feel better. I just was like, holy shit, our defense is horrible. I mean,
yes,
that was kind of it just nailed that point home even harder.
Right, which has led to the moves that we're talking about tonight, where Ed Donatel got released, and we're looking for new DC candidates.
Yeah, well, since you made the segue, let's jump right into that right now. So there's 4 guys now who are going to be in the mix. 2 have already completed their interview. Did Mike Pettin interview too? I know they were talking.
Yes, he interviewed today.
Actually interview today. And I think
Flores this afternoon.
is tomorrow. Flores is tomorrow. So, all right, guys, we'll ask you guys first. Of the 4 who have been interviewed, well, Flores is tomorrow. Which one do you want? Which one do you prefer? And is there one you absolutely don't want at all? Davey Chain says breaking news. He's having a fight in 69.
Good for you, Davey. Fighting 69 is a great Irish whiskey.
Hell yeah. I'm always fighting to get in a 69, but I don't drink whiskey. I lose my clothes. Oh, we got a lot of Flores. Look at this. Just boom, boom, boom.
Mm-hmm.
God, Pettin second, really. He went with Petrin.
Really?
Desai, yeah. Sounds like Deshaun Desai one went really, really well. He had a really good interview, which was the second one with the Vikings because they interviewed him a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
The guy from the Saints.
Nielsen.
Mary's just all over. She must be drinking whiskey tonight, too.
She prefers her rum.
Oh, I used to be a captain guy back in the day. I used to say, Morgan, go straight to the organ. All right, Dave, what do you think? I see a lot of Flores. I think it's a slam dunk. Everybody wants Brian Flores to be the Vikings' next DC.
Oh, my favorite by far is Brian Flores. However, he interviewed for the head coaching job for the Arizona Cardinals.
Yep.
Because of his lawsuit of discrimination by the league, if he does not get the Cardinals job, the Cardinals are going to have to find some valid reason why that will convince enough people to believe them and the league that he was not fully qualified. Say if they got Sean Payton instead, and they could say, hey, Sean Payton won a Super Bowl, right? That might do it. But I think the Cardinals are sort of put themselves in a must-take position of Brian Flores, and thus he will not be available to us. However, if the Cardinals do something stupid, which they're known to do many times before, I would take Brian Flores in a heartbeat. Why? Is because he has more experience and was the head coach, so he has that to help KOC with, than does either my second choice of Sean Desai, who looks good. I like where his background coming from, the Bears, and then over in Seattle. And then you have Ryan Nielsen, who is my third pick, and he has the defensive line background. He played it at USC. He's coached it. I like that aspect of it, whereas Desai is a DB guy, safeties and corners and linebackers, which, of course, we need to focus on. The Vikings need to get better at. So, overall pick, Brian Flores in a heartbeat. Second, Desai. Third, Nielsen. Not even close to last or below last. Even further down than that would be Mike Pettin. If it was Mike Pettin, I think Kevin O'Connell would have turned over play calling responsibilities to him mid-season to give him a shot. I think he's part of the Ed Donatel screw up and stick the square peg in the round hole thing. And no, not Mike Pettin.
Yeah, I don't want anybody who had anything to do with last year's defense moving forward with this. What I like about all the candidates, other than Pettin, but they all had very good secondaries, very highly ranked pass defenses. So that was kind of the common thread between the three guys. So, yeah, your order is the same as mine, and you said it beautifully, so I don't need to add too much more. But
plus, all three of them are known for being aggressive on defense. And it seems that is the main selling point that Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi are looking for, is aggressiveness. And as fans, I think we all want that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we all want someone fresh to us. So I think Pettin would just get a lot of fans very, very sad, very, very upset. And like you said, too, why wouldn't he have been just promoted? And looking back at it, maybe he should have been, just for the fact to try something different. And I did write something, and I did a video about, maybe next year Kevin O'Connell needs to start getting a little more accountability to his players and coaches. If you don't perform, like with Greg Joseph, bring someone in to put some pressure on him. You don't have to change it or anything. At least get someone on the practice squad. If a coach is doing his job, bring up somebody else. I mean, it did come back to bite us in the ass in the end of this one. So, I mean, Donatel's performance in that layout was just absolutely horrible. Yeah. He does. Dave's really bringing his big old balls and his big old brain tonight. So a couple of awards for this NFL honors thing, which is so stupid because they have this Oscar type show, but then a day before they release all the winners. So there's no drama to it. I don't know why they do that, but Minnesota Vikings have a finalist for the MVP. Justin Jefferson has been named a finalist for the MVP, along with Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, and Jalen Hurts, and Josh Allen. What's the one difference here? Justin Jefferson isn't a quarterback. So what do you guys think with Justin Jefferson and his chances of winning MVP? Has he got a shot in the world?
He did win. He's the AP Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, Allen was, right? Did I make that up? I thought I wrote that down right. Maybe I didn't. But
yeah, he is up. He's a finalist for the MVP.
He is. Justin Jefferson's definitely a finalist. Yeah, 0% chance from Skull Mafia. Bob Sweet just says no. Nope. Probably sipping on a Voodoo Ranger right now. Bob Sweet is.
Hey, I've drinking cases upon cases of Voodoo Ranger.
Hopefully he's drinking a Lift Bridge. And he's over there saying hi to That's Badass Woodart on Twitter. If you guys got a second, head over there and say Onebar and Lupagus sent you.
Lewis does great work.
He does.
We sponsor him over on Climb in the Pocket as well. He is absolutely fantastic.
Like we said, it's not just Viking stuff. It's any kind of pop culture stuff, anything you want. He'll do a self-portrait if you want. He's that talented.
He does family portraits.
Yeah.
You get, your better half and the kiddies and everything else together. Send him a picture. He'll make a beautiful wood art piece just of that for you.
He'll do one of you tucking if you want. Send him that. He don't care. He's a badass. That's badass wood art. This is a great point by Patrick Harms. JJ did throw a pass, so maybe he's got a stronger. Maybe he's got
Good point, Patrick.
Chance. So yeah, I mean, it's cool that he's nominated. It's awesome that he made it with all these elite quarterbacks, but he doesn't have a chance in hell to win this thing.
It's a quarterback award.
Yeah, absolutely is a quarterback award. Onebar getting his prostate milk. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what he's up to. All right. So another award. No Viking nominated this time, but Coach of the Year, the finalists were Sean McDermott, Brian Daboll, Doug Peterson, the Sirianni guy from Philly, and Kyle Shanahan. There's one name missing from that list, Kevin O'Connell. Were you guys upset, pissed off that O'Connell did not get the recognition he deserved after leading this team to a 13-5 final record? What do you guys think with Kevin O'Connell's big old snub?
I'm curious about this one. How do the people feel?
Yeah, how do you feel? Again, if you guys are hanging on toward the end here, we'll bring you on. You can talk about maybe an early draft crush, what maybe position you want at 23, or maybe if you got a player, drop me a player you would want at pick 23. Versteeg, he's like, KOC got screwed. Absolutely got screwed. Yeah. Yeah, he might have. He just may have. Ooh, got some emotions coming from Skull Mafia. He's angry.
Ooh.
Everybody hates Nick Sirianni. It's just I saw some guy tweet he has the most punchable face I've ever seen. Is it his aura he carries? I mean, everybody hates this guy. But maybe he's the perfect coach for the Eagles and their fans, because everybody hates the Eagles fans too.
Yes, absolutely.
Bob Sweet says he should at least have been a finalist. Jason KLC did not deserve to be on that. His play calling was shaky at times, and he did not fire Donashell when he should have. Yeah, okay.
There's a point to that.
What the hell? Someone's commenting as me. This is weird. Maybe Onebar's joining us from afar.
Could be.
All right. What's your take on this? Did he get snubbed, Dave?
I don't really think so. I'm okay with where he was. If the defense had played as good as the offense, yes, he should have been there. But even though the offense was much better, and what he did with Kirk Cousins to get him from ducking into his shell, seeing ghosts, and then taking chances downfield, 2-on-1, 3-on-1, and get out of the, oh no, I got to check down, except for in the last play of the last game. That was miraculous. That would have bumped him up there if the defense would have been worth a shit. And then you got to remember, as a head coach, you're responsible for both sides of the ball. And if one side is great and the other one is crap, you're expected to fix that one. We held the same standard for Mike Zimmer. Mm-hmm. We have to hold the same standard for KOC. Other people looked at it and said, he didn't do that. He had his opportunity, could have in the middle of the season. He did not. So, no, there are some coaches on that list that deserve to be considered. I don't think Sirianni's one of them, but there are some on that list.
Yeah, son of a bitch.
I like San Francisco's coach because what he's done with 3 different quarterbacks, it's and how good they've played. But I'm not disappointed either way. I'm not going to raise a fuss. Now, what I do think this will help, though, it's going to put a chip on his shoulder for next year. And we know with that little bit of chip, we're disrespected. I'll fix that.
Yeah.
And hopefully next year we see that.
Yeah, I don't think the blowout losses helped his cause at all. I mean, when you go and you get completely blown out, I mean, really, it was 3 times they came back and beat the Colts. But, I mean, that didn't look good. So I think maybe that was the ultimate thing that maybe got him not nominated. Of the candidates, I mean, you can't argue with many of them. Sean McDermott, weren't they better last year? I don't know. I was surprised to see him on there. I don't know. That was the one that kind of shocked me. So, Sirianni has a stacked roster and a punchable face. Yes, maybe it was Patrick Harms. So I'm going to give Patrick Harms all the credit. Paul Olsen, Onebar looks different. Yeah, he can dig it. Yeah.
Quite.
Paul, after the show, I want you to stay on and look at my rash. Okay.
I didn't know Paul was a doctor.
I think he's a PA, I think he said. All right. So Minnesota Vikings lost one of their own this week. I don't know if you guys saw it, but Dan Chisena, everybody's favorite walk-on, was signed to a futures contract by the Steelers. So are we good? What's your favorite Dan Chisena memory? You guys remember this guy in a couple of years? What do you guys think with Dan Chisena being a Steeler? You shocked that they wanted him? What's his legacy going to be? I can't believe he made 2 Vikings rosters.
I think he's good at special teams.
Was he? Was he though? I've seen him miss multiple tackles on the same play more than once. He was down there first. Yeah, I think this is probably right. Who? Yeah, he was fast. He was fast. Allegedly. Yeah, I don't know if anybody ever saw that. So, I mean, to me, Dan Chisena, it was a fun story when it happened. He was a walk-on. No one gave him a shot. Basically brought us a special teamer. And I thought, the one job he was supposed to do, he didn't do. He constantly missed tackles. He kept being down there. Couldn't make the play. So I just wanted to see, Dan Chisena. He's a Steeler now. So I thought it was worth mentioning, guys. But yes, we're not going to spend a lot of time on Dan Chisena. And I still can't believe he made the team. That was one of the bigger shocks. Which I think the only thing good maybe you remember about Dan Chisena is when it comes to cuts next year, don't just assume you know who the final 53 is going to be, because there's always that one guy that shocks you, and that's the Dan Chisena rule. So maybe we can keep that and move that forward.
Yes.
All right. So after the Bills game, Stephon Diggs threw a fit in front of Josh Allen, did the hand thing, and then supposedly he stormed out of the locker room with his gear on, and then Duke Johnson of all people brought him back in. So now there's all this talk about Stephon Diggs not being happy in Buffalo. And immediately on Twitter, I saw a bunch of you guys, I don't know if it was you guys, but a bunch of Vikings fans saying, hey, maybe Diggs can come back. We want Diggs back. Let's get Diggs back. Let's trade for Diggs. Diggs is coming home.
He even mentioned the Vikings in one of his tweets.
Do we want Stephon Diggs back? What do you guys think? I want to see what you guys think. Do you want Stephon Diggs to come back home? Yeah, I think you're still talking Dan.
Yeah. Well, there's a delay, so we can understand that.
I like it. I love old comments when they pop up.
Cowboys need to cut Brett.
He did look completely just shell-shocked.
And he would have missed that first field goal. Yeah. It would have been wide left.
Oh, God, yeah.
Blocked.
All right, we got no. We got a heel no. We got... How could we afford Diggs and Jefferson? This is all theoretical, guys, but hell no. Hell nah. Hell no, divas. Diggs is taking too much. Travis Nisberg says, hell yeah, fuck the Bills. Absolutely. Probably cost less than, hey, old PA's got a point. Mary Fisk says, hell no. No. Let's see. Here's Mary Fisk. You will respect his passion, understand his frustration, but you don't leave your team after devastating loss. Yeah, that's true. And are him and Allen buddies too? I mean,
they are, and he stuck there under the Hamlin injury.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of the ones that was
a big time
right there.
All right, Dave, what do you think? Do you want him to come back? Do you want Stephon Diggs to come on home?
Well, I would love it. I don't have it to where the camera sees it, but right to my left, viewers right, I have one of my artworks is of Diggsy, and I would love to see him come back just so this is relevant again, and especially for that he takes number 14 back, and then Ryan Wright gets to get number 66 back on. Yes. I would love to see that. I'd petition the NFL, screw your rules. Ryan Wright needs to wear number 66.
And every time he punts, we can say, execute order 66.
Having him back would be awesome in the fact that defensive coordinators around the league that had to play the Vikings would absolutely pull their heads out. They would have nervous breakdowns on how to defend it. However, realistically, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Diggsy is a wide receiver 1. Justin Jefferson is wide receiver 1 in the league. the number one wide receiver one. Diggsy is not going to, the first year would be great. He would understand sharing reps, but Diggsy gets open. When he gets open, he gets frustrated when he's open. We'll get to Adam Thielen maybe a little bit later. He was frustrated when he was open, but it wouldn't work because of that. And you take the money side of it. Now, would Diggsy cost as much as Adam Thielen? I'd have to look at his contract. He's probably in the same, maybe a little bit higher, but I don't think you can pay two wide receivers, even though Diggsy isn't quite quarterback money. He's lower quarterback money or mid-range quarterback money. Justin Jefferson's going to get prime quarterback money, and there's no room for it. It's not going to happen. He's going to stay with Buffalo. He loves Josh Allen.
Yep.
He gets over-emotional, and that's what happens.
Yeah,
He's a great guy, though.
Yeah, I mean, Stephon Diggs, and for what he did, the Minneapolis Miracle, who will forever have a place in my heart. But yeah, I mean, as a player and what he can do in the field, why wouldn't you want him? The whole attitude thing, is he going to fit with this locker room? I don't know if that's a good match or not. And then the draft capital too. You got to trade something to get him, to bring him here. He's still under contract he's not a free agent, right? Yeah, no. I mean, we just don't have that many picks, and I can't see us shelling out a bunch to get Stephon Diggs. So it would be amazing, but it ain't gonna happen, guys. It's not gonna happen. What did he say about Minnesota? I didn't see that. What did he say?
There was something on there. I talked about the will to want to win type deal, and he said Minnesota had it.
Yeah, we do have that will. All right, we
don't execute it well, but we have the will.
We promised Ellis Grigger we would talk about it, so let's do it. A lot of rumors going around there. Trey Lance is going to be up for grabs. May only cost a third-round pick to get him. What do you guys think? Do you want Trey Lance in purple to be the Vikings' future quarterback? Let us know before Dave explodes here.
He's one of us.
Oh, God. Do we want Dilly Dilly? He's just got an easy answer. Yep. Wants him.
While we're waiting on answers, another thing on Diggs would make me wonder if even if he did come back, would he be a bad influence like when Randy Moss came back?
Yeah.
So
that wasn't good. It was fun, but it didn't end up well.
No.
He hated whatever the hell we're having for lunch.
Not for a high draft pick. The article, it was Michael Silver that wrote his talking to league GMs and high office types that they think the Niners would only get a third rounder for him.
Got Angels just making up all kinds of poetry here. It's beautiful.
Now he's been in the league 2 years of his contract. It would be year 3 and 4 with a 5th-year option, if that makes any difference. His 5th-year option would cost over $29 million.
And it looks like, I mean, kind of split here in the comments, I think. What do you think, Dave? Are you in on the Trey Lance trade?
Oh, my heart says absolutely. He grew up in Marshall. He played for NDSU, and I understand why. Best football team in North Dakota. UND doesn't hold a stick to him. But he's only played 9 games as a pro. And he didn't play that much at NDSU because the last year was a COVID year. There's potential up the wazoo. You're looking at it, 6'4", 200 and something pounds. He runs, he can throw, he's got the arm. There are some mechanical issues. And some of the thought processes could be worked on. Kevin O'Connell, well, I'm sure would love to do it, and that's the key. Would Kevin O'Connell want him? Now, the Niners came to practice with us last fall in August, right? So he has seen him up close and personal for 2 days of practice and the game, the preseason game. would he want it and tell Kwesi, yes, let's go for it? I think the whole idea of bringing him in here, have him sit behind Kirk Cousins this year and groom him to take over in 2024 would be brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
I would not object whatsoever, one little bit, but I think my brain tells me it's not going to happen. As for a third rounder, I think that cost goes up. I talked to a buddy of mine, Niner Beto, who runs Niner Sickness podcast earlier today. He thinks the Niners would ask for a first and the third, and there's no way we're going to do that.
No, I mean, if they can ask, well, they can ask whatever they want. But what are they going to end up getting? What they're going to end up taking for a third round pick? Hell yeah, do it. Why would you not? A lot of upside still with Trey Lance, and you're not looking at him to be the quarterback next year. Like you said, he's going to sit. I think the Vikings were probably going to carry 3 quarterbacks next year anyway. I would bring back Mullins to be the backup, and if you don't get someone early in the draft, then have that guy. Maybe you get a mid-round quarterback. Maybe someone follows you at 23. I don't know. So I think there's going to be a 2-year, at least a succession plan for Kirk Cousins in place regardless. I don't think he's a quarterback beyond next year. I don't think he will be. I think they go somewhere young, but it makes so much sense. You get him for a third. You let him sit there, learn the system, work with Kevin O'Connell. A lot of upside with this guy. You're not going to, like I saw the PA said, you're not going to get a guy with that much talent in the third round. So do it.
And pulling Brock Purdy out of this, last man in the draft in the 7th round, that's as rare as Tom Brady.
It is.
It's once every 30 years,
And that brings up a good point. You can throw in future picks. I mean, maybe a next year's 4th or something would do it if you need a little bit more. I mean, it's something teams do all the time. They throw future picks and then they're kind of sweet in the pot. So maybe something will be conditional. Who knows?
Second and a third.
Well, look at Hawkinson. I mean, we gave up less for Hawkinson than I ever thought we would take to get him. So you don't know what teams you're going to take, and the timing of this could come into it too. But if he sits there, the season's over, a month passes with no action, and they may lower their asking price.
And Niner Beta was explaining that they'll probably just keep him because he's good to have and sit on the bench. And I'm going, why would you do that? If he sits on the bench for the next 2 years, at the end of 2024, he walks because there's no way you're going to take a bench sitter and give him his 5th-year option at $29 million.
Yeah.
He walks. And then the San Francisco 49ers get nothing for him. They would have wasted that 3 first-round picks to trade up to get him and get nothing in return. I said, they're going to trade him. Now, the question is, are we going to go after him? And that's all up to Kevin O'Connell telling Kwesi yay or nay.
And I think I picked 23. You're out of the market for the top guys. I mean,
you are. They're going to go.
The thing you hope, maybe, I don't know where Herndon Hooker is going to go. I mean, that's the other guy that you look at, but we don't have a 2nd round pick either. So, I mean, who's really going to be there in the 3rd? So that's why if you don't get them now, you're going to have to wait for the quarterback for the next year's draft. So why not get Trey Lance when you can for a pretty damn low price? So to me, this just really, and it feels like it would be kind of one of the guys Kwesi would look at, kind of those Moneyball guys where, you're not investing a whole lot right away. It just fits. It just really fits well. I really like it. But I know one guy who doesn't like it, and that's D. Garcia. He says, I don't want Lance. No way. It's kind of funny because I feel like when a quarterback becomes available, a lot of these Vikings fans who hate Kirk Cousins, they don't want to upgrade. They don't want an answer. Like they want to not try something different. They're always, I don't want this guy. I don't want that guy.
Well, Kirk Cousins isn't going to last forever. And as I say on my show, the average year for a quarterback to fall off the proverbial hill is 35.
Yeah.
Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers are aberrations. That is not normal. It's usually 35. And so Kirk Cousins will not last forever. And as we saw this last season, even though we had improvement in a lot of parts of his game, especially mentally, which is the best part, some things did fall off and his stat production did fall off.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't specifically saying you, D. Garcia. I was just saying Kirk haters in general. No one ever seemed to present a solution. Dilly, great segue, because the next thing we're going to do, Vikings have some veterans on this team, some beloved veterans who they really should trim out and cut the fat. So we're just going to look at some of these guys and say, is there any draft compensation that they can possibly hope for with any of these guys? And let's start with Adam Thielen, the wide receiver, who's scheduled to make like $19 million next year. And now with Thielen, what is he, 33? 30? Will be 30.
He's up there, yeah.
And I'm going to assume if he does get dealt, is going to be, you know, they agree to a contract restructure with whatever team, and he gets moved. What could the Vikings possibly get for Adam Thielen?
Well, if he does get dealt, the team taking him on would take about on $13.5 million worth of salary. The rest the Vikings would pay for because it's in bonus.
Okay. What do you guys think? Anything? Okay, we got 0 from Paul Olsen. Minnesota says nothing. Maybe a 5th round from Ellis Gregor. 6. We got 6 from Verstig, 6 or 7 from Nobel War Prize. Yeah, I'm thinking if anything, it's very late picks, maybe a couple real late picks. It just seemed like, you know, his play really fell off this year. And I don't know if he was fully healthy or not, but then this whole situation with his wife texting stuff and saying he didn't have opportunities when he had like 100 and something targets. I don't know. I think it's just time for him to move on. And I love Adam Thielen. Never going to not love Adam Thielen, right. But it may be time for a change.
Well, and there was plays, if you watch the L22, he was open. But yes, he has slowed down. And as for a trade value, I think it's going to be nothing. I agree with most people on that. I don't picture another team wanting to give up picks. If they do, it's going to be late day 3 type for him to go, because you got to remember that team picks up $13.5 million ish. It depends on the in-game bonuses he earns. His base is 12 something or whatever, that they're going to have to pick up for a guy that has been basically our wide receiver 3 de facto, especially after Hawkins got here. I don't know if they're going to value it enough. Are there teams that are that wide receiver needy? I mean, you could always find that one that thinks he's great and takes him. You hope to if you're selling.
So, well, yeah, and I think it'd have to be probably a contender who feels they're one receiver away. So I think the market is very, very small, very niche market for Adam Thielen. Let's go to Eric Hendricks, another old man. Anything? Do you think there's any value for him on the trade market? No. No, I don't think so either. I think that's an easy one. Big old zilch for Eric
They'd
Hendricks.
Have to pick up $9.15 million on him.
Yep. Yeah, not much sure. How about Delvin Cook? Delvin Cook. Let's go right to Delvin Cook. Delvin Cook this year. I can't really put my finger on it. It just seems like, I don't know. Obviously, he wasn't getting the workload that he had last year. There was no game. I think one game where he had 20 carries, and then last year before he had a couple where he was close to 30. So the workload wasn't there. It's a running back where running backs are not getting valued very much anymore. High contract. I'm not saying he's lost a step, but it seems like he really goes down very easily. Like either he'll fall or he gets hit and he's down. So Delvin Cook trade market. What do you guys think? See anything?
5th or 6th.
Yeah.
Mary's saying he's not consistent. Yes, I agree, Mary. Said he had peaked already. He's 27, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. He's had some injuries, but he stayed healthy all year. He is a
Pro
Bowler now because Tony Pollard broke his ankle.
Yep.
Okay, so let's say it is a 5th rounder. Would you guys move him for a 5th rounder? Dave, would you take a 5th rounder for Delvin Cook?
Yes, I would. In a heartbeat.
5th and a 12-pack of Lift Bridge.
That's even better.
That's a good deal. Yeah, and part of it too, I saw someone mention it. I just Kevin O'Connell, he's not really a guy who is committed to the run game, and I think you can get by with a 3-headed monster if it's Ty Chandler, Kenny Ngwangu, and some rookie. I think that's definitely something this team can roll with. Kevin O'Connell likes to throw the ball, even when it was working last year. A great game example of that is the first game against the Giants. That one was getting like 5 yards a pop. O'Connell only ran him like 14 times. I mean, Alexander Madison wasn't even used in the wild card game. What the hell? So I don't know if running backs, it's not like it was Mike Zimmer when the offense went through Delvin Cook. He's just a part of it, and he's the 2nd or 3rd or 4th part of it. So
yeah, it's going to be day 3 pick, and I would take it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I would too. And the Vikings need to get some more picks. And we only have like 4 or 5 right now. I think there'll be a comp pick or 2.
5, and we may pick up another. I think, well, there's one guaranteed compensatory pick that gives us 5. There may be a 6th coming.
Okay. All right. So we'll have a few more by the time everything rolls around. And I bet you one of these guys get moved. And here's the big one, Danielle Hunter. What could the Vikings possibly get for Danielle Hunter?
Now, this answer is going to be different.
This one is it might be harder too.
Trade Cook to Miami. That may be a good way, Tim.
You know, they got Mostert and Jeff Wilson over there. Yeah, there's some Jalen Ramsey buzz going around.
You want to talk about Green Bay rumors? Adam Thielen.
No, I don't want to see any beloved Viking go to that. It's hard enough when
Aaron Rodgers would love it.
He's going to be in New York.
Green Bay would eat a lot of money, and I'd love every minute of it.
Picking the top half of the third, Jordan Courtney. All right, let's talk about what I see. A first and early second. Hunter second, third round pick. Remember we traded for Yannick Ngakoue, but that cost us a second rounder, right? And we got a third rounder back.
Something like that
was. All right, what do you think?
Because it was compared to the Hawkinson trade.
Okay, what are you thinking? What's Hunter going to get on the open market for a trade?
A first plus.
You think so?
I think so. It would caveat with him getting a long-term extension at whatever team trades for him, which is fine. That's okay. Because his salary this year is basically only about $5 million on base, because we threw so much into bonus that the Vikings paid that'll be spread out over the next 2 void years. Whatever team wants him is going to get him for $5 million. That's dirt cheap for a top defensive end in this league. So it's got to be at least a 1 plus more picks. Now, how much more? I don't know. I would like a 1 first and a second, something like that. But yes, at least a 1. He'll go there, making it and get an extension right away. That'll be part of the trade. He gets his next year's pay bumped up to where it should be. They get him long term. We get the draft picks. If they trade Danielle Hunter, do I want them to trade Danielle Hunter? No, because I think he's outstanding. But they're going to have a problem with him come this fall because that contract is so screwed up. And that's been the case with Danielle Hunter his whole career with the Vikings. I think he needs better representation, and he switched it over to the last time. So, but even if he plays this next year, they're going to have to pay him more, some way, somehow. If we do the extension, and keep him. But if not, we're trading him at least for a first plus.
I'd love to get a first plus from him. That would get my parts a tingling. I don't know. My heart just kind of says second and a third, something like that. Maybe a couple of those, early day 2 picks, something like that. And would we move him? I do feel like something has to be done there. I mean, he's going to get a monster deal in a couple of years. If you're paying Jefferson, Hawkinson, I just don't know how you can keep him here. I love Danielle Hunter. I love what he's done. But this might be the time to get what you can for him.
Say I'm way overvaluating. He's a premier position. When we talk about draft picks and where you go in the first round, I always like to take premier positions. And those are ones you can't find in free agency generally. And on the defensive side, that comes down to 2 spots, defensive end and corner. Offensive side, it's 3. It's quarterback, obviously, number 1. Then you have wide receiver and left tackle. He fits into that defensive end, elite defensive end. So that's why I say he's worth the first.
Yeah, and I would love it. I mean, again, I feel like now's the time to sell if you're going to do it. And I mean, I think maybe we got to go young there now. Tough decisions had to be made. This may be a decision that's tough to make, but at least get you something in return. So, all right, Dave, it's 1:45. You got to get going. I know you got to get ready for your next one.
A few more minutes.
All right, we're going to play a little bit of a game here, guys. We're going to talk about some current members of the Vikings roster, not free agents, guys who played this year. We're going to ask if they're going to be a lower, grower, or shower. So basically, lower, do you want their playing time to be less? Do you want their player time to be more than they're a grower? Or shower just kind of means they stay the same. Personally, I think I'm a shower, not a grower. How about you, Dave?
Well, there's one of them I want as a grower. But yes, I like to grow. It's been a while.
Well, I quit drinking hard liquor because I was always showing. So let's go with Cam Bynum, the safety. What do you guys think? Is he a lower, a grower, or a shower? What do you think his role is going to be next year? What do you want it to be? What do you want it to be?
The
I think
man that
Derek
played the
Allen might be
most
talking
defensive snaps in 2022, Cam Bynum. League-wide.
Derek Allen may be talking about himself there. He's a grower.
He's a grower.
Alice Gregor says lower. Let's see. We got another lower. Oh, we got a shower. Jordan Courtney wants to see more of the same from Cam Bynum. Grower, but he should be lower. Lower. I think the lowers are taking it here, but it's a little bit closer than I was expecting. Sure. All right, what do you think on Cam Bynum?
Much of the same. What do you call a samer?
Shower.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I personally,
no, lower, because I want him to be the third string safety with Scene taking over his job.
Yep, I agree. I just think Cam Bynum doesn't bring much. He seemed to be the last guy on the tackle. If he does make a play, it's 30 yards down the field. I just felt he was the guy who jumped on the pile and touched the guy to get maybe a half.
He had a great run defense score. The rest of his scores were grades. PFF grades were crap.
Yeah,
as much as you want to take PFF for what it is.
Well, and then that's the other thing. I'm not one of those ones. I know Onebar is everything PFF says he takes as the God honest truth.
Well, it's not gospel, and there's spots where it absolutely doesn't work. But it
doesn't match with what you watch during a game. You watch some guy suck all game and he gets a 90 grade. I'm like, what are you grading these guys?
I know that's infuriating. Well, we talked about run defense and tackling. Who was that corner we had from Michigan? Never turned his head around.
Trey Waynes?
No,
he was Michigan. He was Michigan State.
Okay, well, same. They all look the same, when you go east of Minnesota. Yeah. Trey Waynes was an outstanding tackler. Got great grades, elite grades for tackling. It just happened that they were all 10 and 20 yards down the field.
Yeah, right.
And it would drive me crazy to look at his grades and he graded out great here. And he's like, no, he didn't.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't defend a pass where the couldn't get his head turned around. But he could tackle.
Yeah.
And that's worth at least something. And Cam Bynum can at least tackle.
Yep. And I want him to be lower, but I think he's going to be a shower. I think his role is going to be the same. And I hate to say it, but that's what my heart's
I want Scene starting next year.
Yeah, I do too. I'm thinking it might be Scene and Bynum. Let's go to the next one. Jalen Reagor. Lower, grower, or shower? What is his role going to be next year? What do you want it to be? Jalen Reagor, our other first round wide receiver on this team.
Reagor makes me scratch my head. Good gimmick player.
Well, then you got to start getting him some gimmicks to do then.
Because as punt returning, which I hoped he was good at, he wasn't. No. Only averaged 8.4 yards carry.
Lowers are off to a very strong start when it comes to Jalen Reagor. I'm seeing all lowers. Ellis made his own category. He called him a cutter.
Anyways, Lupagus, I do now have to go.
All right,
I'll
Dave.
give you the last three names on your list. James Lynch, I'd like to see a little bit more of, but still rotational. Josh Metellus, I definitely want to see more of. He played outstanding. And Patrick Jones, I'd like to see a little more growth and stick him as rotational.
All right. Awesome. Thanks, Dave, for hopping on. Thanks for filling in for Onebar when he's on vacation. We love Dave. Everybody, tell Dave how much you love him here in the comments. And hop on the show after Climbing the Pocket, going live at 8 bells, I believe, correct?
Vikings Happy Hour with Matt Anderson, Ryan Ortega, and Miles Gorham.
Boom.
We're going to be talking about, much as we did, the defensive coordinator, Ed Donatel, being fired in the search. And they will also be talking about going down to Mobile next week to cover the Senior Bowl. So
big week next week. All right. Thanks again, Dave.
Skull Vikings.
All right. I knew it was coming. All right, guys. So Jalen Reagor, grower shower. I saw a lot of lowers, and I really think I agree. I agree. It's got to be lower. I didn't see anything from Jalen Reagor from a punt return standpoint. Like Dave said, he's a gimmick wide receiver who didn't have a gimmick. So yeah, I think his role can be much lower. I don't even know if he makes this team next year. Let's go to the next one. And Dave kind of spoiled him, but James Lynch, the ginger snap, grower, lower, or shower. What do you want the ginger snaps role to be next year? Reagor, don't get any burn. Trade Reagor to the CFL. Can we? I don't think we can actually trade to the CFL. Ellis Gregor says he's a shower. James Lynch will have the same role. Noble War Prize says a grower. Skull TY says shower. Again, shower means it's the same. Lower means less. Grower obviously means more. This one's a little more divided. Unleash the ginger. Yes, unleash him. As long as it's not sunny out, otherwise he's gonna get burnt. We have no choice, grower. Well, we have no choice yet. It's still a lot of moves to be made. Shower. Okay, so I'm gonna hop. Yeah, I think he's gonna be a shower, and I think that's what I want. I don't know if he's got much more to show or to grow. He hasn't really done a whole hell of a lot. Makes a couple tackles every game. I think he's a good depth piece. Keep him around for that. We'll see if we do change to a 4-3 and see if that helps him at all, because this guy was kind of just the penetrator in college. So we'll see if that helps. But yeah, I got the same for him. Let's go to Josh Metellus, the other safety. We already talked about Cam Bynum. Josh Metellus, grower, shower, or lower, or cutter. We'll throw cutter. It doesn't really rhyme. Lynch has shown nothing. Yeah. I'm still surprised we kept him on this roster. I did not think he was making the 53 last year. But we're talking Josh Metellus right now. Josh Metellus. We got a grower. The Ditter. He says grower. Skull TY yells it. Grower. Grower. Bob Swede's making his own rules. Keep him. You want to cut? You want to cut Josh Metellus? This guy's a freaking playmaker. I think this one is definitely a grower is winning this one. Mary Fisk is still here, even though Dave left. Grower Swit, yeah. T-Bass says show. Yeah, I Josh Metellus, grower. I want to see more of him. I want to see more of him on defense. I don't care. Get him in there. Get him in the mix. This guy made plays. He blocked 2 punts in consecutive weeks. You don't see that very often. This guy has earned more playing time. He deserves it. He is definitely a grower. And I want to see it, and I want to see it next year, and I want to see him starting over Cam Bynum, because I don't like Cam Bynum. All right, last one, Patrick Jones. Patrick Jones, the edge rusher, the end, outside linebacker. He can do it all. Patrick Jones, grower, shower, or lower his role next year. I like his energy. James Harris. You know, one of the few that shows passion. We got a grower. We got a couple growers here right off the bat for Patrick Jones. Grow that. Grow it. Oh, yeah. Patrick Jones just running away with it right now as a grower. And he is. He's a grower. The guy deserves more of a role. I love me some Patrick Jones. If you do move Danielle Hunter, he needs somebody in there to take over, get some snaps. Quang loves his hair. He loves his hair. Absolutely, he's a grower. He needs a bigger role on this team. Oh, the griddle guy hates him. He hates James Lynch. He hates Patrick Jones. Pittsburgh says he needs to be a starter. He needs to be a starter. All right. So anybody wants to come on right now, I will drop the link here in the comments. Let me know. Do you have a draft crush already? Somebody we should start looking at? Somebody we need to know more about? Maybe a position you want to pick 23. Let's keep this one first round related for the most part, but we can also take your draft crush if you have one. Mary Fisk, thanks for hopping on. I absolutely love having you on here. So let me know what you guys think. Well, I didn't show it. Here is the link for the to hop on. Give me a draft crush or someone you want at 23. You guys done any research? Anybody you want who's leading this thing? I think Kuiper had us taken Emmanuel Forbes, a cornerback out of Mississippi State. He was his option there. Again, I'm going to show the link again here in case you missed it, because I've been looking at other comments. Patrick Jones has much higher ceiling than Lynch. Yeah, Ellis Gregor, come on and gush about Cody Mock. Do it. We got a couple waiting. We'll wait a little bit. Is Ethan Griff still brokenhearted? I hope not. I did sing him that Rachel Platten song. Like a small boat on the ocean. Made him feel better. Kirk is their only option. Yeah, absolutely is. But no one's saying Trey Lance is going to come in and take Kirk Cousins' job. You sit him. All right, we got a few. Let's take him. Let's take him right now. Let's start with this man. He's always here. He's always the first one on. He's the legend. T-Man, what's up, man?
Hey, how you guys? How you doing, man?
Good. How are you doing?
I was done, but I'm so jealous. Onebar's in Hawaii right now.
Yeah, burning his parts. He's a ginger, though.
What is he doing in Hawaii?
I don't know. Probably
What's
getting in
the
trouble.
question tonight? So
You got you got someone we should watch for in the draft? You got a favorite draft prospect?
First, that was awesome about that Cowboys kicker.
Yeah, that's horrible.
I think we need to trade down and get Lamar Jackson.
Trade down Lamar Jackson. That's a ballsy move, T-Man. I like it. Putting his big old balls out there.
How many picks do we have this year?
We got about 4 picks. 4 picks. He says go Lamar Jackson. All right, T-Man. Thank you very much. Let's see. We know. Oh my God, we know this guy right here. Is T-Bass. What's up, T-Bass?
Hey guys, just to give you an update. Nobody knows why, but Pops is still holding on. We're all
hanging in there.
Yeah, he hasn't basically slept the last 5 days, but nobody knows. Nobody knows. But anyway, maybe it's because I'm a Illini fan, but I love the Witherspoon kid. He just looks the part. Yep. I wouldn't mind the linebacker out of Clemson that y'all talk about, but I'm not sold. I'm not sold on Porter. I do not want a guy that is a project. It sounds like he may be a project, so that scares me. I want somebody that could come right in and kick some ass.
All right, yeah. I gotta be honest. Those legend players whose fathers played, I got a soft spot for all those guys.
Well, yep.
So that's my guy. You're a stronger man than me, T-Bass. All right. Yep. Take care. Thanks for hopping on. Good luck with your old man.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yep. Oh, we got this pervert right here. Patrick Harms, what's up, man?
Hey, T-Bass. Happy to hear that about your dad. So, how about, and I know I got to give my Iowa guys some love. Jack Campbell.
Yeah.
Jack Campbell and Brian Asamoah.
I got to ask you about Jack Campbell because I've seen him first round. Suggest I've seen him third round. Where would you project him? Watch him as much as you have.
Honestly, I would say he's a second rounder. But that guy, he's a defensive player that wishes he was playing offense because he's always going after that ball and getting touchdowns. So he reminds me of like what Harrison Smith would be as a linebacker.
Would he be the next great Iowa Hawkeye to be a Viking?
I think he will be better than Chad Greenway.
Oh, wow.
And that's saying a lot because Greenway is one of my all-time favorite Vikings.
Second round, though. We don't got a pick there. We don't have a pick in the second round.
I mean, I don't think it would be a reach at all in the first. But, I mean, he's going to be good.
Well, the other thing I factor in, it's still January. So, I mean, there's a lot of time for these guys to move up and down the board. We see it every single year. Players just, skyrocket to the top. So, you can't get too focused on where a guy is going to end up right now in January. So, a lot of decisions to be made, a lot of movement to be had.
So, that's my crush right now. So,
all right.
And it just makes tons of sense.
It does make a ton of sense. Jack Campbell from Patrick Harms. I like it. I do like it very much. All right, look at this guy right here. We had a great beard in Dave. Now we got another one in Skull TYA. He's in the house.
What up? What up, everybody? I don't know if he's going to be there when the Vikings pick, but someone went to my school, USC, the original USC, South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Cam Smith. He's a corner.
Yep.
He was the most penalized corner, but the reason he was the most penalized corner is because he is very aggressive. And one thing the Vikings need is aggressive corners. We don't need these sit back 5 or 10 yards on 3rd and 10, get a completion at 10 yards. He will play physical. He'll get up on you. He only had 6 passes defended. That's because nobody threw to his side. They threw to the other cornerback, who was also probably a 2nd or 3rd round pick as well. But yeah, that's if
Awesome.
Maybe a late pick, maybe a wide receiver later in the round, so we can get rid of Rager.
Yeah, that's right. He's definitely
peace, y'all.
Lower. All right, thank you, Skull TYA. I like them. I'm loving these options, guys. Loving everything I'm hearing. It's getting me excited for the draft. Look at this guy right here, Davey Chains. Probably just did 4 bananas.
No more bananas. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you perfectly, crystal clear.
I don't like this cornerback. I want to stay away from cornerbacks. You don't seem to be having much success. Guys are getting hurt. They don't pan out. I would like to target the defensive line. My man crush is Jalen Carter. We would have to mortgage the house to get this guy.
We would.
But if he's available at 23, I would go for that guy, Siaka Ilka.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's how you pronounce his name, right? Siaka Ilka?
It sounds good to me when you say it.
Yeah. But, we need to do something on defensive line. And we need to shake up the secondary a little bit. But, that's a broken record. So that's all I got.
No, that was perfect. Thank you, Davey Chains. Always good to see that mug on a Wednesday. All right. Take care, buddy. Speaking of mugs, we got one more left. It's SSM. What you doing, buddy?
Lupagus? I'm doing great.
Oh, I know where you are. You're in the bottom.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't done much research on the draft yet. I haven't quite developed like a crush, but I'm somebody who I really want something to get excited for in the future. And I love Kirk. Kirk's my man. But if we can't get our hands on Trey Lance, which I really don't think is going to happen, I'd love it, but I don't think it will. I'm kind of liking the boomer bust on Anthony Richardson. I think that could be really a nice little twist, something that we're not used to as Vikings fans in the first round, because we normally pick corners and more corners.
We do. We love it. We love our corners.
So Anthony Richardson, I kind of like his boomer bust. The past couple elite cornerbacks have been like boomer bust. Yep. So why not? Why not take the shot?
I'm game. The question is if he's going to be there or not is the question.
Exactly. Yeah. If he's there, quarterback slips sometimes. I don't think he'll be there, based off of what I've heard. But if he's there, why not?
Hell yeah! I love it, SSM. You take care. You keep those studies up,
man. I will, man.
All right, take care. We got one more latecomer. He's definitely a grower, not a shower. It's D Garcia.
Hey, what's up, guys?
How you doing, man?
Pretty good. So yeah, I guess to stay away from corners, because I guess that is a very, very popular position. But if we are, going to get rid of Cook and we're looking for the next de facto running back, but John Robinson, he's a hell of a dude. He can run hard and fast, and that is, of course, if we get him, then hopefully KOC will use him more than 20 times a game, maybe more like the 30, 34, what we were used to before with an Adrian Peterson type running back. But yeah, I think everyone's expecting him to go defense. I think we can find a lot of good defense in free agency with all the cap space we give up. And so, I mean, I think if John's there, pull the trigger. I mean, why not? Why not see what we got?
He's a rare talent. I don't care if he's a running back or not. Sometimes you just take the best damn player there. So I like it. It's out of the box thinking, D Garcia. You're always out of the box. All right, man. Appreciate you. Thanks for hopping on.
Yeah, man. Take care.
All right. Thanks for everybody for hopping on. Thanks for again for Dave for subbing in for Onebar while he's on vacation, getting burnt to a crisp. I see Tyson Garcia. He just took my man. I was going to talk about Brian Brisset. I want that disruptor on the D-line. I think if you can get some pressure up front, a guy who not only eats up blocks but can cause interior pressure, this guy is an absolute wrecking ball. He's a guy, too, that I've seen everywhere from 6 to top of round 2. He's got some injury concerns in his past, but this guy's an absolute destroyer, a wrecker of men. I would love to have him on the Vikings and be the pick at 23. So that's my call. I'll go D-line. As much as I realize corner is a possibility, linebacker is a possibility, wide receiver, no one said a wide receiver, but yes, need that nastiness, absolute nastiness. And speaking of nastiness, we're gonna end with this little fact for you guys. And I'm guessing some of you guys have probably done these searches. So remember this. In the U.S., Google searches for "Why is my poop green?" peak between 5 a.m. and 6 a.m., while "How to roll a joint" peaks between 1 a.m. and 2 a.m. Searches for porn peak at 1:30 a.m., and searches for lonely peak at 2:30 a.m. All right, guys, again, thank you very much. Get yourself a lift bridge and go buy some That's Badass wood art. All right, take her easy. Keep your skull in your hole.